workers and be alongside all the other speakers up here today, although I think they might have only let me come because I brought the fire engine. This reprehensible Tory government says there's no money for working people, and amidst their misinformation, their propaganda and their lies, they'd rather spend their time undermining workers and attacking trade unions than dealing with the issues that face working people on a daily basis. The bosses and the media would have us believe that fair pay for workers is unsustainable and that a fair wage would simply drive inflation. I'll tell you what's unsustainable. £37 billion for a test and trace programme that doesn't work. And to date, no one can tell us where the money went. Comrades, I'll tell you where the money went. It went to the same place it always goes. It's the pockets of private investors, Tory donors and shareholders. The same people who preach fiscal restraint while families in the UK literally starve. During the pandemic, this government spent £437 million on unusable PPE. That is PPE that was no more fit for purpose than the clowns in Westminster who ordered it. £10.5 billion worth of contracts were awarded during the pandemic with no transparency and no competition. £6.7 billion of those contracts went to suppliers who were pre-approved by the government. Some of those suppliers weren't even pre-approved for the products they were selling. While essential workers like the RMT members were keeping this country running, Tories were dancing on the tables, groping their secretaries and running up a bar bill in number 10. For the last few weeks, while we've all been enjoying the sunshine, firefighters up and down the UK have literally been working day and night in an attempt to stop this country burning to the ground. Since 2010, the fire service has been cut by 20%. That's a loss of 11,500 firefighter jobs across the UK. We cannot continue to provide the service that members of the public expect and deserve without meaningful investment from government. During the pandemic, workers here today kept this country running. Collectively, we shouldered the burden of society, and how were we rewarded? With a weekly round of applause and the banging of pots and pans. All the while, members of the public being gaslit into believing the NHS is a charity and that workers are valued by this disgraceful Tory government. Like many workers here today, the Tory government has shown its utter disdain for firefighters with a disgraceful 2% pay insult. 2% for our members, whilst inflation is running at 10.1%, is an 8.1% pay cut. Like many workers within the public sector, firefighters' pay has been cut effectively through inflation and below inflation pay rises. Since 2009, we have seen a 12% reduction in wages. That is a loss of £4,000 per year per member for our members. Not content with paying poverty wages, this government are now attacking our terms and conditions of service, our ability to collectively bargain, and ultimately our right to strike. We have some of the most restrictive trade union laws in Europe, yet Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak want to increase ballot thresholds and ban strikes for essential services altogether. I've got a message for Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss. Come to Liverpool and try it. Under successive Tory governments, things have gotten progressively worse for working men and women within the UK. And as we race towards winter, the outlook looks bleaker than ever before. This winter, some families won't be choosing between heating and eating, because thanks to this disgraceful Tory government, they won't be able to afford to do either. As we continue to see energy prices rise, Centrica, the owner of British Gas, registered a £1.3 billion profit in the first half of 2022. The government's answer to these energy rises is to give the companies more of our money. We are living through the biggest transfer of wealth from the public purse to private shareholders that we have ever seen. Comrades, neoliberalism is alive and well, and it is living in Westminster. This government has shown nothing but contempt for workers. They want us broke, they want us tired, they want us living from paycheck to paycheck, too scared and too weary to stand up and fight. Well, we're here in Liverpool today to send a message to those crooks who are supposed to be running this country. We will no longer suffer attacks on our terms and conditions. We will no longer stand by as you attack the most vulnerable in society. We will no longer struggle while you reap the rewards of our labour. The time has come for change. We must move forward together, raise our voice collectively, so those who would maintain the status quo can no longer ignore us. We must go back into the workplaces, back onto the picket lines with a clear message. Stop clapping us and start paying us. The time has come. Support the RMT, support the workers, and never ever forget that there's no such thing as a non-essential worker. Enough is enough!
Enough is enough!
Thank you very much, Ian.